Hi everyone, welcome back to the Puttering Penman. Today I'm going to be doing a quick review of the Pilot Penmanship fountain pen. So, talking about unboxing first, I got this pen off Jet Pens, as usual, good service from them, pen arrived quickly. But I don't think it came in a box or anything. I think it just came wrapped up, so it wouldn't get damaged. So I don't know if that's typical of the Pilot Penmanship because it's such an inexpensive pen, or if it is more of, you know, I, I, I don't know if this came in a larger pack and it just got sold separately somehow. But anyhow, this pen is a little bit unique in its design. It's meant to help people learn how to write well. And I think it's supposed to look like a quill because, well, one second, I'll show you. So this is one of my, I do calligraphy as a hobby, and so this is one of my dip pen holders. So I don't have a nib in here, but it's long to help you balance well while you're writing. And so the penmanship sort of has that style about it. It's not quite as long. But anyhow, so it's supposed to help you grip the pen well. One interesting thing is that the cap and the end here, the cap does not screw into the end of the pen. It actually screws into the grip of the pen. So there's that right there. And then the back where you change out the cartridge converter is back here. So you can see the grip is just right there. This pen, I don't believe it fits a Con 70. It should fit a Con 40 and a Con 20, but I've only been using cartridges with it, and I think that's really sort of how it's intended to be used. The grip section is triangular. Let me see if I can help you guys see. So it is triangular in shape. So there's a flat end here, a flat end here, sort of a rounded end in between them, and a rounded end at the bottom. For those of you who have Pilot Kakunos, the grip is different. So I find the Kakuno grip a lot more comfortable. The Kakuno grip is more like a hexagon, and I would call it less opinionated. So with the Kakuno grip, even though it's meant to be held like this, you could hold it like this or like some other way, and it would still be pretty comfortable. With the penmanship, it's pretty much just meant to be held like this, and that's it. I tend to hold my pen more like this with my index finger right in line with the nib. That's pretty uncomfortable just because there isn't a lot of room for it there. It's meant to be held like this. That said, this nib and feed are removable, just like the same way you would with a Metropolitan. And I have taken it out. It is possible to realign it, so it would be in line. I don't know why I didn't do it. But anyhow, I believe you can do that. Since I haven't done it myself, maybe don't take that as 100% certainty, but at the moment I'm not seeing why you can't realign it if you wanted to. Yeah, as far as cleaning the pen goes, it's cartridge converter, fairly easy to clean out. Just run it under some water. I have a separate tutorial about cleaning cartridge converter pens that I did a few years ago. One thing to note about the Pilot Penmanship is that this pen is only comes in an extra fine, and the reason for that is because with an extra fine nib, it tends to show the imperfections in your writing. So by being able to see the imperfections in your writing, you should be able to correct those mistakes over time, and then your handwriting will improve. So that, whereas a broad nib tends to hide some imperfections like line wiggles and things like that. So as such, the Pilot Penmanship only comes in an extra fine nib. For cost of this pen, I don't remember the exact cost. I think it was somewhere between $10 and $15. So as far as a fountain pen goes, it's not particularly expensive. It is a good way to get a extra fine nib, especially a Pilot extra fine, if you just want to see what it's like at a low cost. I don't believe like Pilot Metropolitans come in extra fine. I don't think like Pilot Prayeras come in an extra fine. I think it's just the Kakunos and the Penmanship come in extra fine. And because the Kakunos have like these smiley face nibs, whereas the Penmanship has these like Pilot super quality writing nibs, which is the same one that comes on the Explorer and the Prera. You can actually, if you want an extra fine nib with that writing on it, you can buy this pen and swap it into a Metropolitan or an Explorer, even a Kakuno or a Prera, and then you would have an extra fine nib on those pens. So kind of an inexpensive-ish way to get an extra fine nib on those pens. Let's do a quick size comparison here. So you can see that the penmanship is a lot longer. It comes out to here. And then as far as you can post this pen, it doesn't really change the balance of it all. It looks kind of weird. But you can do it if you, so you don't lose the cap. Okay, and then the last thing is that before we do a writing sample, this pen is very light. It's less than 10 grams. I believe it's 8 grams, but definitely less than 10 grams. Very light. It's comfortable because of that. I typically like light pens because it makes them easy to control, but, some people may not like how light it is. Okay, writing sample. This is a extra fine steel nib. The ink, little. The ink is Pilot Blue from the cartridge. As far as the pen goes, you can probably hear there's quite a bit of feedback. I think the nib is smooth, but there is a lot of feedback. So you definitely feel the page, and the line is very fine. It's not quite as fine as I would say a platinum extra fine, especially on their gold nib pens. I think this probably is just as fine, if not finer, than a platinum preppy extra fine pen. But not quite as fine as like the extra fine or even the ultra, definitely not the ultra extra fine on like the platinum Century 3776 pens. I like this pen a lot. It is nice to have this as an extra fine. It's also nice to be, I have swapped this onto like Metropolitans before when I want to carry a Metropolitan around, but have like an extra fine nib to write on poor quality copy paper, that I might get at a conference or like some sort of work event. So that is probably the biggest benefit of this pen for me. It's also nice when I'm like working on my cursive to like be able to see, just how all the mistakes in my writing. I'm writing with a tripod in my front of my face, but like, you can see all the little imperfections in my writing here, like the little squiggle in the C and things like that. I want to give you a comparison of the extra fine. And then I have the Pilot Fine Steel Nib here with the same ink. This is also Pilot Blue. And then this is not a Pilot Fine Nib, but just because I have it inked for fun. This is my Pelikan M120, also with Pilot Blue. It's a broad steel nib from Pelikan. You can just see how much finer that extra fine is. So overall, I think this is a nice pen if you're looking for a way to test out the steel extra fine from Pilot, or just have an extra fine nib that you can swap into Pilot's other steel nib pens. this is a really good option. And I'm glad I have it in my collection. I don't use it a whole lot just in itself because I don't like the body of it, but it's nice having that nib. Okay, so with that, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.